that's exactly what I'm doing here or there, etc. But what I want to show you is we have to really be clear on what our non-negotiables are. And we have to make sure that we're giving ourselves a win, we're getting the momentum, we're doing everything we need to do. So again, small bites, building our rhythm, right? Building the rhythm and the cadence that we need. And frankly, those long journeys, they're freaking boring. My calendar is freaking boring. Was someone saying something? No? Oh, I heard someone. My calendar is freaking boring because it's the same, excuse my language, shit every day. Same stuff. It's always boring, but that's when I know I'm doing it right. So we got to celebrate boredom, and people don't do that enough. And then my one rule is if I have non-negotiables, and frankly, like I live by this. I tell the others that I'm coaching or here on the team or whatever it is, that's fine if things get in the way. Things get in the way all the time. There's reasons why you can't prospect, or my rules, just don't let it happen twice. If it happens once, okay. If it happens twice, I've now created a terrible toxic habit that's getting in the way of whatever it is that I need to do. So the mindset is really, really important. But again, small bites. Like so often for years, I used to do this, where I'd live in like, my goal for the year is this. And I'm like, why did I do that? This is going back like 10 years, 9 years, whatever it is. And I'm like, why did I do that? Like I was fortunate it worked out, but where we need to go, especially because the market is changing, is we got to focus on our non-negotiables and our activities, like time, or, people are like, I can't even get to 20 conversations in a week. Can you get to 2 a day? Can you get to 4 a day? Like chunk it down. We're like, when I go on mountaineering expeditions, the top of the mountain is in front of me. And I'm like, the people that overwhelm themselves on how the heck to get to the top versus just what their next step is that's the difference. The people that actually make it with an ease and with a breeze, it's because they're not overwhelming themselves with all the distraction around them. Not how to get there. It's truly just, how do I take my next step? And that's where agents need to focus, is their next step. So put yourself in autopilot mode. That's where I love to live, is just put myself in autopilot mode. For years, I had a hard time waking up early, like going back like 8-9 years. I'm like, how do I just put myself in autopilot mode? I heard a podcast that ignited me. I'm like, what happens if I didn't have to think about what I was going to wear in the morning, and I just laid it out in on top of my dresser, and then I'm ready to go, put myself in autopilot. So happened, I did that over and over and over again for a couple of weeks. I was waking up early because I wasn't giving myself excuses that I didn't know what I was going to wear. Like, it could be that silly, but we got to put ourselves in autopilot mode. That's truly what we need to do. And the way we do that with our prospecting, in my opinion, is distractions, like freaking distractions. You're going to come in the office, you have an hour, you're going to prospect. Well, what does our environment look like, right? Like, it's dizzy, like this freaking slide. Do we have our social media up? Do we have our email open? Do we have all these things that are giving excuses to like be pulled in different directions? Or do we just have our CRM open? Do we have our CRM open? And are we just focusing on that one thing we're supposed to do? And what does our desk look like, right? My desk, when I'm ready, I'm putting myself in autopilot mode to make sure that I'm ready to go. This is what my desk looks like in the morning. I leave, make sure it's all laid out, making sure that I don't have any excuses not to do my prospecting in the morning. First of all, I need to call through FUB. I put that little sign up because I used to make my calls with past clients because they're already in my phone. And I forgot to make my dials. I heard someone say when I jumped on, like, how do I get them to dial in? Like, how do I get them? Well, scoreboards help. I'm competitive. I want to see myself on the list at number 1, right? So like, I'm finding these things here, right? So I have questions I ask. I have a disc profile. I have more questions. I have my codes for my text messages that I'm sending. I'm just giving myself all my arsenal so I know exactly where I want to go. And on one screen, it's my CRM. And the other screen, it's that scoreboard you're seeing right there. And I'm freaking competitive. And I'm going to make sure that I'm there all the time. And are the things I add to this all the time. But what environment are we prospecting in? In distraction or in the things that are going to give us lift? And that helps. So you got to put yourself in autopilot mode, in my opinion. It's a big, big thing. This is my accountability partner. It's my calendar. And I love it. Like, I just want to show you what my day looks like. I don't know what day this is, but what you'll see is I have my morning routines. I have, if I coaching that, whatever it is, and then I'm in my productivity. That's the green, right? So this is, I think, for Thursday, actually. But this is what I follow. This is the thing on my other screen with my scoreboard. I have it split on my other screen right here that I'm looking at, and it tells me where I need to be. It's the only thing that keeps me accountable. It knows if I'm lying, if I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to do. Like, my accountability partner is my calendar. And I love my little chunks of time, not 3 hours of prospecting. It could be anywhere from 45 minutes to 50 minutes to an hour, and I don't exceed that. That's my rule, because I know I will be thinking in the back of my mind, how the heck, what do I do on this deal? Or I got to take care of this. You got to give yourselves an excuse to chop it up, just like walking for 2 hours without a 15, 20-minute break when I'm on that trail, right? I know I can look forward to that 10, 15-minute break where I can have some water or a cookie or whatever that is. If I'm doing it right.
I'm learning about the bank, but a deposit with our checks.
So, mindset. Mindset's important. Transitioning from the mindset to the accountability piece is, how do I just win the relationship game? My goal, and the way I really try to focus, how do I win that relationship in 3 months? If they're not buying in 8 months or a year, does that mean I can't win the relationship in 3 months? Absolutely not. They've just said I'm their person. Doesn't mean that they're buying today or tomorrow. It just means they're just someone that's going to buy later. But I want to win with them. So my goal is to win the relationship at the long end of that 3 months. How do I do that? I want to just give you some insight. So when an opportunity comes in, two things happen. They either answer the phone or they don't. And I think when we lose the word of the day, the word of the week, the word of my quarter, the word I'm obsessing is momentum. Like, I'm obsessing over momentum. How do I create momentum versus lose momentum? Create momentum versus lose momentum. So what I want to focus on is, even though they don't pick up, how do I continue to pick up steam and create momentum with my efforts behind reaching that person or not reaching that person? What if I do get them on the phone? How do I carry on a next step with momentum? What do I do? And I think momentum is a really, really important piece. What we need to really be conscious of is, where are we meeting people? So I am very clear on the stages that a buyer or a seller or anybody is at. When someone is aware of something, they're typically not in your world yet as an agent. They're just not. Where most people come into your world is when they're considering something. Like, think about it, just Easy Homes, for example. They saw something online, something triggered their thought, they're considering doing something. At some point they're considering it, they're clicking on it. They're considering. So they're not aware of something, they're considering it, and then they're considering you, they're considering having a conversation with you, they're considering signing up, they're considering a bunch of crap, right? So we got to really be conscious of the fact that we're meeting them in the consideration stage. So how do we get them from consideration to decision to, this is where I live, is just living on how to at least give people the information that they need in that stage. And I think it's really important to understand that. So our opportunity, in my opinion, is to earn the relationship, even when they're considering anything. I want to make sure that I'm disarming them. I'm giving them what they want, right? I learned this from freaking Zillow. Give it the ALM. You guys heard of ALM before? Just freaking appointment, location. I give them what they want. I want to make sure that I'm disarming them so they don't feel like they have to withhold information from it. There's something that I just trialed the last week and a half with Easy Home that I want to share with you. You'll see that in a moment. That's actually getting me some traction and conversation. So then, I'm spending time exploring who they are and what their pain is. I think too often we just jump right into the value. Sometimes we have to get the value, right? Disarm them. They want to see the house, give them that's the value in that moment, give it to them. You let them know. But there's another reason. There's something else there. We have to explore who they are and what challenges they have, whatever pylon cone is in their way. We have to understand that, because it's not always going to be getting them access to go see that house or whatever. It's going to be something else. We got to go deeper. We keep it so surface level. And then when you have permission, if you have permission, we need to go and present the right value. I was on a role play 2 days ago, and it was like someone was calling an expired lead, and they said something in it. They go, "Oh yeah, I have some family things going on right now." I want to talk about this for a moment because I think it's really important just as agents in general. We're too comfortable not going there with people. When someone mentions anything family related, oh, it's too personal, I can't even touch that. No, they would have said it's not the right time if they didn't want to talk about it. They said, I'm having family things going on right now. But agents in general, that's a perfect opportunity to mirror and go deeper and really understand the core reason why, because the average agent will not freaking do that because it's too uncomfortable. Someone's giving you permission. So when you have permission to go places with people, it allows you to present the right value. I'm a big believer in that. And frankly, it's never comfortable for me. I've had people say that, terrible things. They've said, that I'm going through, I've had someone say I'm going through chemo before, and I wanted to acknowledge it. If you don't acknowledge it, what the heck? That's agenda. That's just ridiculous. You gotta build the relationship, right? And it's never comfortable, but I've become familiar with going there in conversations to show them that I care because I want to build a relationship. And that's really where I lead. I lead in really getting to know them, build a relationship and not making it transactional. So whether you do get someone on the phone or you don't, I love playing the long-term game. I want to disarm them. I make them feel comfortable. I'm just letting them know that I'm here as a resource constantly. It's not with Easy Homes what I'm finding, and I'm trialing this right now, but I obviously want to give them what they want. I want to get them out there and show them a home. But a lot of the people are very, very early from what I'm gathering in their search. So I'm finding different ways of getting in front of them. And I just want to be a resource. Like anything San Diego related, I'm going to make sure that I'm putting in front of them. I'm expressing empathy, and I'm not applying too much sales pressure, but I'm being blunt. I'm being very direct and blunt, 100%. But I'm not going to force someone to make a decision. I want to earn that trust. So what I'm really doing is this is my sequence. And I know you guys have other stuff, but this is what I've been doing. This is what I do whenever I have a new lead. My calls is always priority. So I'm calling always. New opportunity comes in, I'm calling. I lead with my calls. And what I want to do is just differentiate the different ways I'm reaching out to people. So I'm calling first, that's priority. I do video, I'm heavy in video. And I do video checking in, telling a story, even if I haven't even connected with them. So something that I tried recently that's worked. It's crazy. It's been working really well. After like the 4th or 5th attempt, and I can't get a hold of them, I've been going to Dub and I've been posting this video. And this video, I do a text or email, it doesn't matter. I've kind of figured out who's better, who probably has a more realistic email versus phone number, et cetera, but it doesn't matter as long as you get the message out. And I've tried different subject lines. Don't worry, it's okay, whatever. And my message is sent is frankly, it's like, listen, this is Brian Danney with Beer Home Team. I just want to let you know that I know we haven't connected yet, but don't worry, it's okay. I know you're probably just early in the search or just gathering information. And it's not about you finding the right home tomorrow, today. And if that's great, if that's what it is, great. But if you're looking in a year from now, I just want to be your resource. I want to be here to get you all the information you need. I want to make sure that I'm answering any questions you have. I just don't want you to be shy. I'm here to help you whenever you're considering San Diego. I'm just like disarming them, right? And I have a video I can send you if you guys want, a couple of different versions of that. Like, just don't be shy. Like, I'm here to help. Just because you're a year out, and I'm getting responses. I've like the last 20 or so, I've gotten 4 or 5 legitimate responses from people. Yeah, we're just looking, we're relocating, military. I've gotten engagement. So I think people are just so worried that they have to buy tomorrow if they speak with you. This video is just making it a little more personal. So I'm living in here, and it's been working really, really well for the last week and a half. And again, I'm just trialing things because this is all new, but I'm going to share the stuff always that it's working well. So the text messages, I'm always using the text to let them know that I've tried them. One thing that I found is working well is not texting them like immediately after I'm calling, because they might be blocking my number. So I'm waiting a little bit and just saying, hey, Jim, I just tried you, or whatever it is. And then they're responding, but I'm putting a task in for myself to go ahead and do that after. But if I text right after I'm calling, they might again have their guard up. So I'm just waiting a little bit longer. So my cadence with that's a little bit different. And I'm always including, right now, I'm including the easy home link in my text to them. I'm not using my own. And the reason why I'm not doing it is because that's how they came into my world. They were considering that site I don't use anything else other than that. It looks familiar to them too. So, and my email is when I finally get them on the phone or that video I showed you, and I'm just recapping. The mistake we make as agents, even knowing when we do connect with people, is not even recapping what we just heard. It's the most dangerous thing we can do. We need to show them that we were actively listening to something they said. I'm recapping every freaking conversation I'm having. And now with AI, it's like even better. Like I get a summary of something that was said. I can copy and paste. And here's what I heard. But I'm emailing them what we discussed, and it's allowing me to continue to strengthen the relationship and building a foundation I need. And it's getting them to like, I am their person. I go all in on this stuff, but this is where I'm using my call, my video, my text, my email, and I'm being purposeful with it, which has allowed me to have a lot of success. So 6 different ways that I'm building that relationship in the 3 months is I'm labeling myself as someone that's reliable and trustworthy. So I will never end a call or end a message, even if I don't get a hold of them, without telling them what I'm going to do next, ever. Really important. I'm always time stamping when I'm following up. This is a track that I use. I'm following up with you just like I said I would. I'm always telling them when I'm going to call. And then in addition to that, I'm just saying, I'm following up. I'm labeling myself. I said I was going to do it. I'm doing it. And I'm using this track all the freaking time. I'm following up just like I said I would. I'm following up just like I said it would. I'm following up just like I said it would. They're going to remember me as someone that's reliable. And then if they don't pick up and I call and it was a time that we discussed, most of us say, I'm going to try again next week, or I'm always time stamping or picking out, selecting the next date. And it's always, you know what, we didn't connect right now. I'm going to try you on Friday at 1:00. And then I'm calling them at Friday, 1:00. It's in my calendar. I'm calling them when I say I will. And if I do that repeatedly, they're going to feel like they owe me something. When I've left multiple messages at a time that I've now chosen to call them, they're going to get back to me. They have in the past. The other thing we don't do is we don't do this with a nurture. Someone that's like 6 months out, I'll follow up with you in the fall. I'm like, no, I'll follow up with you October 10th at 2:00. I'll follow up with you on February 1st, whatever it is. I'm always just setting that. And I'm using that as a crutch to continue to nurture and have excuses to follow up with them. So I live by that. I make a promise, I want to follow through. And I think you can do disservice if you're saying you will do something and you don't do it. And make sure you're giving easy things that you can promise and follow through with. So there's so many other things you can do with making a promise and following through. It could be homes, it could be something that's sold, it could be listings. Just give yourself an opportunity to continue to be the resource. And I'm always finding excuses to reach out to people. Now, even if they haven't spoken to me, I'm still sending them information based on how they came into my world. I do have some information based on them, where they're looking, what they're exploring, maybe what their price point is. So I'm running with what I have, right? The recap conversation I mentioned earlier, it's so important. I'm always using that. And it's a massive, massive opportunity to just highlight that you've heard them. You're not just making it transactional. You've heard something that they said. Maybe it's something personal. It's not always transactional. It could be something personal. They're going on vacation. I hear you're going to Hawaii. Go enjoy. I'm here if you need it in the meantime. Looking forward to continuing our conversation on September 10th, whatever it is, right? And the whole goal is to not just be their agent, but to be their resource. So I'm living into the lifestyle piece that people are looking for. You connected with them, that's where you got to live. They're not buying a house, they're buying a lifestyle. So I like living in the lifestyle to explore. How do I better familiarize them with like events that are happening or like something in that neighborhood? This is when you speak to them, of course, right? So I'm living in that space just to be their resource. I brand myself, I label myself again on making sure that I'm giving them whatever information they need to know about that neighborhood. I'm a big advocate for this one. I don't know if any of you have ever heard me say this before, or we met previously, but I'm a big believer in playing the hits. So, any of us gone to go see? Anyone here ever seen a DJ before?
Oh yeah,
yeah, of course. Okay, do they play their music or they play other people's music?
Most of the time other people's.
Yeah, it's the hits, right? They might be remixing it, but it's the hits. So I think we withhold good information that we come across all the time, and just because it's not our voice, we shouldn't share it. So you want a way to reach out to people. I just find the good stuff that I'm personally enjoying. It could be something real estate related. It could be a good freaking podcast. It could be a good book, whatever it is. I'm finding an excuse to just let them know that I'm not just their agent, I'm their friend. Why do we think that just because it's a good podcast on parenting that they're not going to want it? I don't know. Like, that stuff is like, I want to make sure that I'm thinking of them. So this is what I say. I play the hits. It's as simple as, hey, Mac, it's Brian. I'm following up with you just like I said it would for a previous conversation. I just came across this interesting article and I thought of you, and it mentions this, and I summarize like 2 bullets. Thought you might find it valuable. So I wanted to share with you. I sent it your way, and let me know whenever you're free to touch base. I plan on calling you on August 10th at 1:00. Again, next step, always. Like, I've embedded that into my routine. So it's just now always happening. But I play the hits, right? Like, your hits can be a variety of things. It could be podcasts, it could be articles. How many of us get spammed with like lender emails all the time? There's some good stuff in there. I forward it. If I'm reading it, I want to send it to somebody. I just find excuses. The truth is, like, sometimes it's not even my video. Sometimes it's a video from Dan Beer that I have. And I'm just like, you know what? It's really good. And I'll send it to him. Like, there's so much good content out there. So if they're looking in a neighborhood, I'll send them a YouTube video about the neighborhood. I'll find things. You can find things. You can repurpose it. We're selfish with the information we're getting. I want to just continue to be a resource and share. And if it inspires me, it's going to inspire them, or find something else that will inspire them. So this is the thing that's allowing me to continue to build that relationship. Again, the relationship. It's allowing them to trust me. And ultimately what happens is the easier deals that I have are the ones that I've been nurturing for 7-8 months. Because when they're finally ready to go do something, they trust me wholeheartedly that they're just letting go of the reins and they're saying, Brian, we trust you. It's actually the ones that are buying in the next 2 weeks that are more challenging and earn that trust right away. I mean, obviously we can do it, but the nurturers, God, those are like the best ones. Those are the best ones to win. In fact, there's no reason why you can't ask for referrals before they even buy, because you've built that relationship. Like, I squeeze the lemon on all that stuff. So it's really important. I'm just leveraging other relationships too. If they said they want something, it's not yet on the market, I have a whole sequence of events of how I'm getting in front of other agents and other opportunities, and how I just showcase that I'm already working for them. Now, this is someone nurture. They're not here in San Diego yet, or maybe they are, but they're not ready to see homes yet. I'm not shoving an exclusivity down their throat right now, because I know they're not there yet. I need to meet them where they're at. So if I'm just a resource for them before they're ready to actually step foot through a threshold and see a home, I'm going to win that game. So I want to make them feel like I'm already working for them. I want to be their agent. And that's really what I want them to focus on. I want to be their agent before the sale, the transaction. The relationship is really where it's at. And then I'm a big believer in using data to support stories. So all of us close transactions, whether team, no team, solo, it doesn't matter. We all have stories. So another way I use my video is I tell stories. I had one 2 days ago where I had a buyer who's been really hesitant about the market, and they don't think they can get a buyer deal. So when I went to them, I said, listen, right now, San Diego County, we have over 2,100 homes that have been in the market for 14 days or more in the marketplace. And what I know with homes that are accumulating days on market is they're most likely not going to trade or sell at their asking price. And what I also know is that seller is motivated to sell. And I had a client just like you who didn't think it was possible. In fact, what we did was we just saw a house. It was priced at 1.2. It was on the market for 31 days. And I encouraged them, hey, let's beat the seller to the reduction. They're going to reduce at some point. Let's just beat them there. Let's do it before it goes public. So we presented an offer at 1.1 and we got it under contract. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because I want you to know there's other options out there, whether you're ready to do something today, whether you're ready to do something tomorrow. I just want you to know that we can always beat the seller to reduction. So I just want you to know that. I tell stories constantly. I find different ways of doing it. So we all got stories. Share it, right? Let's share it. Again, it's just staying consistent with this. That's how I'm winning. I'm again, small chunks, not big chunks. It's not 2 hours of being overwhelmed and not taking action. It's giving myself wins of doing this for 45 minutes a day in my follow-up or my prospecting. I break it up and I do it consistently for 3 months. I know I'm going to win with these people. I'm finding excuses to reach out. I share the data. I share the comps. If I comp something out on a listing I'm going to, and I know I have a buyer looking in the neighborhood, I'm going to share that. Why would I reinvent the wheel? Like, we got to think bigger. Got to think bigger. If you're actually putting the right data into your CRM, you can hashtag the markets that people are looking at. And you can make it much easier to track who needs to get that CMA or whatever it is, the comps or statistics or something you learned. So you're only as good as the information you're putting in your CRM. And then lastly, the thing that I know that just always wins is I'm always simple. I keep it simple. I don't overwhelm. I think we get word vomity all the time. I really like to chunk it down. I try to explain in bullets and I keep it straightforward. I'm really, really blunt. I want to be very clear and I don't want to mislead people. And I think the agents get in trouble with misleading if you're not telling them what they really need to hear. In fact, those are the worst listings I have, right? Back in the day, when I have a listing and a seller wants $1 million and they're really worth $500,000, it's not going to end well. So we got to run towards being blunt, and they'll respect you more because they know that when someone's BSing them and when someone isn't. So I love being direct with people, respectfully, of course, right? I'm not trying to beat them up over it, but I want to be transparent. And tonality has a way of really connecting with people with the way you deliver that, and that's also something you should role play. So, third chapter, winning the showing. And I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has, but this one, winning the showing. So, a checklist, right? Like a checklist. Do we have a checklist before showing? This is where I'm winning. Whether I have had a consultation, things are changing. California is going to change very soon here in the next 20 days, but I'm always going for that consultation. But if I'm showing them a home, I'm confirming the meeting, I'm sending my resume, and I'm asking 2 questions actually when I'm confirming the meeting. And if you're going to take anything from today, I'm telling you, these are some of the 2 most important questions you need to ask. And before you're having that next step with someone to meet them in person, you need to ask, whether it be Zoom or in person, showing, whatever, what are you looking for in an agent? What are you looking for in a real estate experience? Because they're going to give you cues of like how you can show up for them, what they're really, maybe some pain. They're going to tell you exactly the recipe to have a good meal, right? They're going to tell you everything. They're going to reveal everything, all the ingredients that are involved. Good communication. They're looking for someone to be transparent with them. They're looking for hand holding. I'm always asking, what are you looking for in the agent you choose? What are you looking for in the real estate experience? And I go deep. And then I recap it. Great. I heard you say this. Now, when we have an opportunity to meet with one another and you like what you hear, would there be any reason why we wouldn't be able to work with one another? I'm always asking that one. Now, taking that same structure of that question and saying, here's what you said you want in a house. We go out and we see the home, and the home's a perfect fit. It's your dream home. Is there any reason why you wouldn't write a competitive offer? I use the format of that question and I just repurpose it in different ways, different phases and different stages of when I'm meeting buyers. And before I go to show a home, I'm always asking, again, if this is the perfect home, would there be any reason why I wouldn't write a competitive offer? It lets me know exactly where they're at and some obstacles I might need to get in front of. some information I might need to provide. I got to ask it. Setting my resume. I'm a big believer in setting resumes. I have one I created on Canva. Happy to share with you guys if you want it. And then I'm always setting a personalized video, and I'm making sure that, again, I'm asking if there's anything you didn't tell me previously, let me know. I'm looking for the showings, and I'm excited because I know this is going to meet a lot of everything you discussed. And that way I'm moving them towards getting ready to write a competitive offer if the home's a fit. I'm going to mention that again. And I always do this one. I don't know if you guys ever heard this. I've been using it for years now. But if I'm on my way to a showing for a first meeting, I'm always asking if I can get them a Starbucks. I'm headed to Starbucks. What can I get you? So that one always works well. So I'm at the showing, right? It's important at the showing, getting them to continue to trust you in the process. And this is where agents go wrong. It's when they're like walking a buyer through, breathing on their neck in the showing, and they're pointing out the obvious crap. Like, here's the bathroom, here's where people go to the bathroom, and here's the kitchen, and like the dumbest things I've ever imagined. Give them space. Now, if you see them spending a lot of time in a room, oh, so what do you love about the kitchen? Like, you can explore, but we pointing out the dumb things. And agents in general make this mistake all the time. We gotta figure out how we can squeeze a lemon on something and reading the situation on anything they're giving you. And I love this quote here because people will always forget what you said in the moment, but they're gonna always remember how you made them feel. Right? They're always gonna remember, was it good experience, was it bad experience? So like those showings, when that's their first opportunity to get in front of anybody, you gotta make them feel good. You gotta give them space. Don't crowd them. Ask the good questions. Come prepared. Preparation, I live in preparation. Come prepared. What are you bringing? I'm going to show you what I'm bringing at the showings to continue to cement the relationship, even when I met them for the first time. You gotta make sure that you're giving them a good experience. First impressions matter so much. And the questions you ask matter, right? After the tour, I'm not bombarding them in interrogation, asking questions in the house, other than, I see you love this. What's your favorite? Like, I'm learning a little bit more there. But the questions I'm asking, and where I start in the driveway, and by the way, if I get them a coffee and we're having a coffee conversation, they owe me the conversation. We got them a coffee. It's a good investment. It's $2. Unless you go to Starbucks and now it's like $10. I don't know what's going on there, but 1 to 7 track. I'm a big believer in this one. So we're out in the house, and you know what, Matt, 1 to 7, 7 being the highest. How would you rate this home?
I'm going to go with a solid 4. I'm missing a few key pieces, but I like it. Might be good for our family.
Good. I'm so happy. Thank you. So how do we take the 4 and we make it a 6 or a 7? What would need to change?
Oh my goodness. Well, third bathroom would be helpful, for sure. Really like 2 girls, and a wife. It's a lot. That's the main thing, I think.
Perfect. So a 3 bath, and this home was a 3 bed. So I heard a 3 bath, 3 bed. That's also important to you, the 3 bed.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's good. If 4 would be great. The guest room would be nice, little office space as well. Something like that would be helpful.
Perfect. I mean, here's the goal of this one. Just coming off the small little mini role play. 1 to 7, 5 to 7 is offer territory, in my opinion. Anything 4 and below, that's like, use that to figure out what would need to change in order to get a 5, 6, or 7. And I'm using this scale all the time in showings. It's how allowing me to understand what I really need to know, which is, how do I get to their 5 must-haves? I'm a massive believer in this one. I live in 5 must-haves, and I get buyers to remain accountable to the things that they said that they want. So whether it be a buyer consultation, whether it be a first showing, whether it be a phone call, I want to make sure they understand that I'm clear on the 5 things they need to have. Mac just said 3 bed, 3 bath, and I'll probably go deeper there to really truly understand, and I'll pull things out of that house that I know that resonated, that brought them there, right? But what I want to do is I want to underline the things that are important, and then I send this email. After the showing, I'm like, listen, Mac, I'm clear on exactly what it is that you want in a house. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email right now, just making sure that we're on the same understanding. This is what you want me to find for you, right? You want a house 650, you want a 4 bed, you want a 2, you're okay with a minimum of 2, but you really ideally want a 2.5 bath, a yard of this. Walk it through, right? Walk it through. Can you do me a favor, Matt? Can you just send me an email back saying this is exactly what you want? And if anything ever changes, just reply back to the email so I can make sure I'm putting all my energy in the right place for you. I want to make sure I'm finding you the right home.
Yeah.
Bottom line,
I kept role playing.
yeah, I love it. But bottom line is, I'm keeping you accountable to the things you're saying you want me to hunt for you. And if it ever changes, great. Thanks for letting me know. You now want a 5-bed? I'm going to send you an email. Can you just reply back? You're looking for a 5-bed now. I'm keeping people remaining accountable to the things they're telling me they want, because I am going to continue to show them the things that they want. And I'm going to label myself the right way. And I'm going to be direct. And I'm going to be all those things that I just mentioned to you. So this is something that I've been doing for like 7 years, 8 years now, that has moved my conversion in a different way, because I know exactly what they want. I'm not leaving it up to assumption. I know exactly what they freaking want. And I get them to buy into it. Right? If this happens like 5 times in a row, 6 times in a row, they're doing their due diligence and they are, they keep changing the criteria. What I know is they're still in the due diligence. They're still doing their due diligence. They're probably not ready to buy today, probably ready to buy in like 3 months or 4 months from now. My cadence is just a little bit different. Doesn't mean I throw them in the trash, by the way. It means I nurture them differently. They're still exploring, still give them attention. This helps me move the needle in my conversion, and it shows them that I'm actively listening to the things that they said they want, and I'm documenting it. It's been huge in my conversion. And where I really wanted us to make sure that we understand is that when we're showing, whether we're in a conversation, the thing that get in the way most for agents is we create freaking friction. We create friction. I've been saying momentum, like friction. I'm already working with a lender. Well, you should talk to my lender. No, it's who are you working with? I love to, I've been meaning to connect with someone from Bank of America. I don't have any relationships there. Can you please introduce me? I flip the script constantly. I get them lower their guard. 2 weeks later, when I've earned the relationship, then I have permission to introduce them to whomever. Or maybe when we're in a transaction, I'll introduce them to a second option. Or creating friction. Yeah, my uncle said it's not a good time to buy. Your uncle, is he in real estate? Do they even know what's going on? That's where agents go. Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy that he's an enthusiast in real estate. I'd love to, does your uncle, I make him part of the conversation, right? Would he like to join us for a showing? Is he available to join us for, I'd love to pick his brain. Or a friend that's another agent in another city. I love to connect with another agent. I'm always looking to build my agent network. We create too much friction and we play defense way too often. Let's play offense. That's the mindset. Play offense. Make it easy, right? You got to give them something. In my opinion, we got to give them something after every showing. We got to give them something after every call. You got to promise something. If you could find the easiest, it could be the dumbest thing in the world. It could be like, I promise to send you homes. Can you promise me one thing back? Can you please give me the feedback I need to make sure I'm sending you the right homes? Promise. The simplest things. Promise them promise them a vendor, whatever it is. Oh, I promise to send you information on the next event here in Del Sur. The dumbest thing. But promise them. It labels you. I always want to give them something. And I want to always remain and stay curious. And I want to confirm any assumption. I actually mentioned that at the beginning of the call. That is a disease right there, is when we live in assumption, we don't confirm our assumptions. That's where agents dance or do not dance around. I love confirming assumptions. I don't want to, that's why I love doing my 5 must-haves. They said they want a big yard. Well, let's go deep there. I want to know exactly why the big yard's important to them. And what I also want to do is I want to adopt the language that buyers are using or sellers are using. If they're saying yard, it's not backyard, it's yard. If they're saying home, use home, don't use property. We got to be better at really grabbing the language patterns that other people are using, because it's going to connect and really solidify that relationship, because you're just going to be like them. So that's where I'm living in the showing. The next step, there's really only 2 options after a showing, in my opinion. There's 2 options. You're writing an offer or you're setting your next showing. That's it. If you're leaving that showing without any next step, you're dead. There's nothing you can do to recover from that. And I'm always one of those 2 things. offer, or it's a next showing, or it's a next strategy call, or it's a consultation to go deeper, whatever it is. You cannot leave with just saying, I'll follow up with you later. If you change that one little thing, it will create the momentum you need, in my opinion. It always has for me. So that's what I got for you guys. I want to touch on like a variety of different things. I don't know if you guys have questions, but so you can find me too.
Yeah, I love it, Brian. Thank you again. Yeah, I'd love to, call on the audience for some questions, see what we got. I feel like there were a few things that came through. Let's see. Billy Castle was asking about the videos. Maybe if you want your little introduction videos.
Yeah.
During the nurture. And then I know during the pre-call, while you look at that, what's that, Travis? Sorry.
Her name is Kesley.
I'm so sorry, Kesley.
Trust me, I have butchered that 100 times, so don't even worry.
I won't get it wrong again.
That's what I said to myself. I love it.
Hey, Kesley. Yeah, a couple of requests for the videos and resume there.
I would love to see the resume too, Brian. That's sweet. Yeah. I think that's amazing.
Show it off a bit, man.
Yeah, I would love to see that as well. And Brian, I also have I'm just curious about this. What's the purpose of the 1 to 7 scale instead of like 1 to 10?
Because 7 is so weird and odd, and 10 is easy to gravitate towards.
I figured.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes, but like the truth is I borrowed it. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I learned it like 9 years ago from someone. I think it was someone like Keller Williams or something. I'm like, oh my God, this is genius. And it was working for them. So I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I just using what already is, what's already working. But I do get more clarity in like that odd number to 7, because people typically just end it like an even number, and I want to end it an odd number. That's where people typically go. Sometimes I go to 6, but that really tells me a lot too. That tells me they're just not a 7 person, but they love the house. So it gives me good insight if the home is a perfect fit or not.
Yeah.
Love that.
Brian, I also wanted to ask you, how long is your video that you send to your clients?
Yeah, that's like, I try to keep it like less than 30 seconds, really quick. Great question. Like 30, 35, maybe at the most. But I'm not one who's going to like make it a production. Like there's a video I probably sent you guys. If you want, I butchered the word resource, but I didn't redo the video. I just sent it. I just moved on. I made myself human. It's okay. Like, so I'm sending that stuff, but I try to keep it down under 30. And again, I've just been trialing it for about a week and a half, but I'm getting so many more responses than the week before that from these videos. So I'm just going to continue to trial new things. This is one that is.
And then Brian, I also wanted to ask you, I know you're in the process of pulling up your resume, but you had some questions right around the pre-showing checklist. Is there anything that would prevent us from signing, or the perfect, any reason that you wouldn't write a competitive offer? Do you have any sort of script where those questions are in one place that you'd be willing to share with us?
I can post a few. Yeah. I mean, the format of it remains the same. If you like what you hear, would there be any reason why we couldn't work with one another? If you see the perfect house, would there be any reason why you wouldn't write a competitive offer? What's another one? If you like what you hear today, would there be any reason why we wouldn't be able to sign the listing today? I mean, you could it's the same format, structure it based on the situation. But yeah, I'm happy to put that anywhere for sure. And that one, I'm telling you, I underline that too. Like Nikki, that goes in that 5 must-haves that I have, where I'm actually putting these are the 5 things I need to have in a home in order to write a competitive offer. I'm actually getting them to say, yes, I'll write a competitive. I underline it. If you looked at that email, which I'm happy to share, you guys want that template? I'm getting them to commit to writing a competitive offer when they see it. And the conversation becomes, say that someone's like, oh, Brian, I love the house, but we're not ready to write an offer. That's okay. Nikki, it's okay. What needs to change from our top 5 items that you said you need to have in order to write? What needs to come off? They'll just prioritize it differently. But that's where I go. Perfect. Nikki, I'm going to send you a new email right now. I'm going to remove the backyard, no longer important, but I know you want a 3-car garage. I'm going to put that on there because I know you have a lot more storage you want to keep in the garage, and you have 2 cars, etc., kids' toys. So I'll put that in there, and you'll get that from me. If you can just reply back saying this is exactly what you want, and you're ready to make a competitive offer once we find it.
Love it. Love that.
Yeah. That's awesome. And, kind of going back to a conversation I was having before you got in here, Brian, with Heather. Heather, I wanted to kind of see if you got some of the information you were looking for around, getting those appointments to stay held, in your role, kind of, maybe a little different than Brian, but I feel like you've got some good insight and advice to provide, Brian.
I think the mistake we make is when we book an appointment, we ignore it until it happens. Now, the one rule is I want to try to get that appointment as close to when I spoke to them as possible. The longer you wait, I think the more probability that they're probably going to find an excuse not to show up. So it's the first thing. But I'm always, if I did a good job in getting the right information out of that conversation, then I know I can give them show them and a trial, like a little bit of like what it is that they want to hear from me, what they want, right? Information they might be looking for. Again, if I booked an appointment Monday and I'm meeting with them on Friday, I'm going to find 2 spots, one to confirm the appointment, and I'll probably do a video. And then the other one, I'll probably let them know about something in the neighborhood that I think that they want that just came to market or something off. I mean, I call it exclusive. I try to show them something that might be exclusive. I don't use the word off market because I think it's overplayed. So exclusive I can find. I'll find something that I can do to give them. Again, I'm always trying to give them something. So that's where I'm living. It's like 2 touches, then the appointment. Now, if we have an appointment that doesn't show up, I truly believe that it's because we didn't do enough job to present a high enough value. And we didn't go deep enough. It was just really surface level. So I live off of an intake form. So I have like this intake form. It's actually one of my rocks for the quarter for our team that I'm revamping. And I'm happy to share with you guys if you ever want it. But it's an intake form. It's like the things that I know I need in order to make sure I have a qualified appointment. It's what ISAs are going to have. It's what I'm going to have. That's what I'm living off of. If I don't have that thing half complete, there's a good chance that person's not going to show up. Because I didn't learn enough or I didn't get enough information. And so that's where I'm living. Here's the truth too. Maybe it's half filled out. Why is there a rule that says I can't confirm the appointment and get some more information to fill out the form? Like I get a second at bat. It's as easy as like, Mac, I forgot to ask you, like, what is the reason why you're looking to upsize? Like, I can go back to it. You have so many at bats to fill that thing out before the appointment. Where we get lost is we don't prepare. We don't prepare for our appointments. Like I'm going into a freaking, it's like Sunday football for me. Like I'm like going in prepared, studied, ready to go. Like my evening routine, which you maybe saw on my calendar, there's no way I go in tomorrow without looking the night before what I'm doing, what conversations I'm going to have. Like I rehearse it. I play it in my head. I look and make sure I have everything ready to go. Like that allows me a higher probability of converting and winning and showing up for them the way that they need me to, like all that stuff. Like I just rehearse it and I don't just show up because it's time. Like that's where agents, that little thing builds so much more confidence and momentum in my day and in my business. I know exactly where I'm going to go in conversations.
Love it. Awesome. Last call for questions. I know, haven't seen Brian's calendar. He's got a busy one, so we want to make sure he stays on track. We don't disrupt him too much and get you out of your rhythm, man, because I know it's important to you.
I know, Preston. That's why we went to 12:15 my time, and 11:15 my time. I appreciate that. Oops. Because of my calendar, it wouldn't allow me. So like that's how strict I take my calendar. So I appreciate that. And,
yeah, that's important, man.
Yeah.
But big takeaway for me is rapport building at all costs. Like creating relationships. How are you going to get to that point? Where they trust you and delivering value and meeting them where they're at. Were huge takeaways for me. So just want to share and say thank you. Really, really grateful for your time and you sharing with the greater community, and especially our easy partners, big part of it as well. So man, we look forward, and drop your handle again in the chat if you don't mind, so people can see it. I think there were a lot of questions. Maybe we didn't get to the video and the resume. I encourage y'all to connect with Brian, follow him along there. It seems like there's some people in the chat that have seen really good results from a lot of things you're coaching and training them on. So again, super grateful, and to all of you that took time out of your busy schedules to join us today. Thank you all. Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll keep getting better together.
Appreciate you guys.
Cheers, y'all. Bye, gang.